All right, what is up, YouTube? MCool40 here. Fox was going around the St. Louis Regional talking to a few people, and he ended up getting a BA deck profile for us. Fox is always so excited for these things, so I figured I'd go ahead and cover it. So this is actually Black Flame Angels deck from the Zodiac Discord. Got 29th place. And I will say this about BA. Though BA did not have any real success in making it to top 32, the YCS in Europe, that does not mean that the deck by any stretch of the imagination is bad. It just means that we're getting to the point now in the game that decks on a regional level and a YCS level, like something that's local to regional level, you can take and have success with. And it's very important for players to understand that there is this bridging gap at this point in time that, yes, a deck will be more consistent for 7 rounds and invariably better, or viably better, just to make sure that like you can get through those rounds, as opposed to going to an 11-12 round event where you're not going to have that much success. So I do think that something like this is much better for a regional level competition than as opposed to a YCS. And that's got a lot of room to talk about improvements and things like that, but it's Burning Abyss, people. The deck has still been around for this time. In terms of like picking up and evolving your strategies, I mean, like the Danger Engine is about the newest expansion that you kind of really got to add to your deck. Like, you just became 37 card Monster Mash the deck now in terms of utility and things like that. So, I mean, take it for a grain of salt for what it's worth, but like the deck viably is still correct for the things that it is doing. So, congratulations on the 29th place, young lad. Like, it is a very good thing that you are doing so well. So we'll dig into his deck profile here, and then we'll talk about his tournament report as well. So we have one copy of Alich. Standard Burning Abyss, shenanigans, no spells and traps. Go ahead and beam this guy on out. Smile at your opponent. Send to the graveyard, target a monster on the field, blink its effects. 2 copies of Ash Blossom. Viably, he is playing 6 different hand traps. So, I mean, the 2-2-2 split isn't necessarily a bad thing. I've seen a lot of builds do this in the past. I don't disagree with it. We have 1 copy of Barbar, same thing, special summon on out if you got nothing, and then you can, this guy goes to the graveyard, you can mill up to 3, ping your opponent for 300 for each. I guess this is one of the cool things the BA still has going for it, no matter how much the deck gets hit in the grand scheme of things. You're still able to burn your opponent in time, because they gave them this, and I don't know why. 2 copies of Blackluster Soldier, kind of just, you want to make sure that you have the standard built-in OTK scenarios. Honestly, being able to close games is something that BLS grants to this deck, and that's a good thing. You know, call it what it is, but being able to steal a game going second, like, this deck's whole agenda is, if you have to go first, you can, but if you go second, like, you're in a much better position. 1 copy of Calcab, bouncing back, set spells and traps is his game. Watching your opponent cry himself to sleep is the play. 1 copy of Seer. Maybe someday we'll see our boy Seer Unlimited from the depths of hell, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, this Danger lineup is a little bit more interesting because obviously, like, Nessie's the best one, but we are playing 1 copy of Bigfoot. Being able to destroy something, in terms of general advantage, isn't terrible, so I can understand why he plays the 1 copy of it. Also, like, name management for Orbital Hydrolander is a little bit of an issue. 2 copies of Nessie, still the best Danger card to date, in my personal opinion. Like, getting the full search off of this kind of makes him good. 2 copies of Jackalope Man, special summon, yeah, nothing else to really say about this. Tsuchinoko should be the best one in this deck, but for some reason we're only playing 2. But once again, like, Orbital Hydrolander says that, you know, can't have the same name. So, Graveyard Management. 2 copies of Droll and Lockbird. Honestly, depending on how things are going in the matchup, like, this and Effect Veiler are very much rotatable. Once again, like, having the 2-2 split on the hand traps is not a bad way to go about things. If you go into 3-3 and you're like, oh shit, I could have used the other one in that one-time scenario, like, you can control things. It's not like you can't appropriately rotate one of these out for anything that you have down here in your side deck to better fit a situation that you find yourself in. So I will give him that. 1 copy of Fairy Tale Snow. This is pretty standard, honestly. Like, You drop this off the Beatrice, and you just continue on along with your day. 2 copies of Farfa. Nothing else really too explanatory here. Orbital Hydrolander kind of prevents us from going a little bit too crazy with these. Now, that's not saying that we're not maxing out on Fiendish Rhino, because you bet your ass we're maxing out on one of the best cards in the deck. 2 copies of things like this is fine. 3 copies of this is mandatory. It's not like we can't have Snow banish our extra friends for this, but for the most part, Fiendish Rhino is still the best goddamn card that this deck has. We have 1 copy of Godarla. Call it what it is. Having Kaiju access in the deck between the 3 is definitely pretty worthwhile, honestly. Now, 2 copies of Gallows of Star Beast. I'm the type of guy that can play this deck with such a low spell count, and I will still Millisecca's Light every single time. But reducing the count for these is not necessarily a bad thing. It's fine. 1 copy of Gamma Seal, once again, same logic with the previous Kaijus. 1 copy of Graph. Some point, we'll see these guys limited up. We have 1 copy of Kumamungus. 1 copy of our boy Libic. Special summoning from hand is pretty good. 2 copies of Orbital Hydrolander. So I have to have 5 monsters in the graveyard with no monsters with the same names. So that's pretty good, but I mean, a 3K body. OTK scenarios. You guys get it. Like, nothing personal, kid, but this card's pretty good. 2 copies of Skarm Searching. 1 copy of Tour Guide. And then, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, Triple Sekka's Light. Like I said, you're the essential equivalent to the former High Monster Beat deck. You just play your whole deck as monsters, you have your minimal draw power, you kind of do what you want, but you also have to understand, like, consistency with the weird hands, resource value. It can bite you in the ass depending on how things go, but, you know, still understand what you're playing at the end of the day. Like, it just kind of depends. Now, down here in the extra deck, we have 1 copy of Underclock Taker for OTKs. 1 copy of Triple Burst Dragon, stopping the annoying Ray from coming back. It's pretty cute some days. 1 copy of Trisbania. I mean, wiping back row is pretty good. Phoenix, wiping back row is pretty good. Both these cards do the same thing. One of these just doesn't take a discard. 1 copy of Mermaid. I love my opponent giving me a Ability. 1 copy of Nightmare Cerberus. 1 copy of Decode Talker. 1 copy of Boral Sword Dragon. 1 copy of Boral Dragon. 1 copy of the Phantom Knights of Breaksword. Utopic Future. So, it has to be 2 Xyz monsters of the same ranks to make this guy cannot be destroyed by battle. Neither player takes any battle damage involving this card. At the end of the damage step, this card battle an opponent's monster, you get to take control of it until the end of the battle phase. This is a card on the field be destroyed by a card effect, detach material from this card instead. So, 2 Dantes make our friend here. And it's cute because you figured out in Master Rule 4 that this doesn't come up that much, but it actually does. Then, of course, 2 Dantes, 1 copy of Beatrice, and 1 copy of Dante, Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss. Side deck, we have 2 copies of Majesty's Fiend, 1 more Kaiju, 2 Spell Cancelers, triple copies of Vanity's Fiend, 1 Card Destruction, triple Twin Twisty, and triple Red Reboot for those annoying ass Altergeist. So, tournament report time. So, BA summary. Round 1 was 1-2 against True Draco in time. He drew the monster. Round 2 was against True Draco. He ended up winning this time, 2-1. Round 3 was against Thunder Dragons, just OTKs, so he won. Okay, so we're 2-1 at this point. Round 4 was against Cyber Dragons. He won 2-1, so we're now 3-1 at this point. Okay, that's pretty good. Round 5 was 2-0 against Sky Strikers. Easy when you play Spell Canceller. That's actually pretty cute. Like, dropping this on the board against them is pretty good. Round 6 was against Altergeist. He said he should have summoned Majesties before Battle Phase Game 3. Yeah, I unfortunately, you probably should have. That's just simple player, though. Round 7 was against Goki. I should have made Beatrice instead of Majesties. I mean, it's good to see that, like, you see where your errors are. Round 8 was against Paleo, 2-0'd it with the greatest of ease, and then round 9 was against Sky Striker. Once again, the power of Spell Canceller coming in to just destroy it. So, but my final thoughts on this, I still think that BA is not up to the best of standards in the current format, but that does not mean that on a regional level and so forth that you cannot have success with this. Getting your invite should be relatively easy with this, and that should be your goal in life. Cross that line first and start aiming for the top. So, guys, congratulations, sir, on your regional invite. It really is good to see that you got the chance to get it, especially with BA. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and well, guys, I'm out. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.